The second round of AFC's 2026 World Cup qualifiers begin this month. 36 teams, 26 automatically starting in this round, and then 10 that qualified from the first round, are split into 9 groups of 4 teams where each team will face each other in a home and away style. First and second place move on to the third round of the World Cup qualifiers, as well as qualifying to the 2027 Asian Cup, while third and fourth place will be eliminated from World Cup contention, but will go to the third round of Asian Cup qualifiers for a last chance to try and qualify. Matchday 1 will be November 16 and Matchday 2 will be on November 21. Matchday 1 for Group A will be Qatar versus Afghanistan, Kuwait versus India. And Matchday 2 will be Afghanistan versus Kuwait and India versus Qatar. Matchday 1 for Group B will be Japan versus Myanmar and Syria versus North Korea. Matchday 2 will be Myanmar versus North Korea and Syria versus Japan. Matchday 1 for Group C will be South Korea versus Singapore and Thailand versus China. Matchday 2 will be Singapore versus Thailand and China versus South Korea. Matchday 1 for Group D will be Oman versus Chinese Taipei and Malaysia versus Kyrgyzstan. And Matchday 2 will be Chinese Taipei versus Malaysia and Kyrgyzstan versus Oman. Matchday 1 for Group E will be Iran versus Hong Kong and Turkmenistan versus Uzbekistan. Matchday 2 will be Hong Kong versus Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan versus Iran. Matchday 1 for Group F will be Iraq versus Indonesia and the Philippines versus Vietnam. Matchday 2 will be the Philippines versus Indonesia and Vietnam versus Iraq. Matchday 1 for Group G will be Saudi Arabia versus Pakistan and Tajikistan versus Jordan. Matchday 2 will be Pakistan versus Tajikistan and Jordan versus Saudi Arabia. Matchday 1 for Group H will be the United Arab Emirates versus Nepal and Yemen versus Bahrain. And Matchday 2 will be Nepal versus Yemen and Bahrain versus the United Arab Emirates. And finally, Matchday 1 for Group I will be Australia versus Bangladesh and Lebanon versus Palestine. And Matchday 2 will be Bangladesh versus Lebanon and Palestine versus Australia. Round 2 for the AFC region.